Alright, we should be live.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Call of the Hunger, as our party steps back out of the woods to get a bit of a breather. Although the air is not fine in Lemoore, you guys have finally made it away from the psychological heat that seems to emanate from the woodlands. Having a chance to relax a little bit, your minds have cleared. Although one hazard seems to be put behind you, you rush to resolve another one. Although the pace seems to have lessened now that you are, you're 5 days ahead of schedule to reach Diala to successfully fetch the Tears of the Weeping Willow that she has asked for. However, there still seems to be potentially some obstacles in the way, as you have not left Lemoore in the best of terms. It is a dangerous city. There are dangerous people there, and collectively as a group, you might have threats that still abode. Wretch, you did not leave in the best of terms with the Harvesters. The Harvesters are those who are responsible for keeping the peace and bringing subjects to those known as the Creators. They're essentially the artists, or the people who are the ones who essentially, if you want wings, they might try to graft wings onto you. It's like the whole reason why people come to Lemoore. Biomechanical prosthetics or biological prosthetics, eye replacements, and if someone wants a snout or hooves or some weird stuff like that. Also, there's industrial. So if you're looking to have a robot arm or something along those lines, people have flocked from all over the world to get changes to their figure that would not be accepted elsewhere. And that is continued the industrial focus of the city that was originally emanating from a heavy industry associated with fueling the Cavern Wars between the dwarves and the Onyx that have plagued the Highlands for a very, very long time. But I digress. The Harvesters have a great relationship with the Creators and with the Models, those who have come out of their molting of their change, and have been found to be successes. So they don't like it too much if you ridicule those who would be considered a freak elsewhere. That being said, Dahlia considers these changes to these creatures to be pretty much an affront to her, and so it disgusted your palate enough to speak up about it in this town. And that's unfortunately led to the ears of those who run the place. They're like, no, you can't have this guy speaking ill of Models, Creators' works alike. Not all subjects of these Creators are Models. Some don't come out so well, and they are collectively known as the Flotsam. The people who are, instead of getting some sort of blessing or boon or change to their body that was for the better, they came out maimed, potentially disfigured, or dead from the surgical process. And you found some of these folks, these wayward souls, in the slums of the slurry, the sludge-like ravines that are the deadened rivers of the fonts of Ramvalar. Anyways, some of these figures speak of a unsavory part of this side of this city. And that is that many people who hope to become creators or models leave people as detritus along the way.
Eesh.
Emery.
Not a nice place.
No, it's not. Emery. Last time you were here, you had come with a couple of individuals. Some had gotten sick on by attending the Leeward Star, a boat that you had found on the adjacent lake known as the Crystal Tarn. A horrific illness plaguing them, including yourself, until you managed to make it to the city. You managed to get the good graces of Wretch himself to cure you, and it seemed that the rest of the party, of the group, Osaya and his second mate his first mate Boyar, and the rest of his mates, you're not exactly sure what happened, but you do know what happens to the ship that they met up with beforehand, and that was that they all died horrible deaths or turned into horrific monsters at one point or another. Not only do you not know the fates of your fellow shipmates, there's another threat. For you came to this town with a Tekeknu by the name of Archek, a bug person, who had apparently some information on the Onyx and the Onyx that had taken your family, along with the vampire Ephemery. And while you were bedridden, he apparently went out to get more information, and in the process was killed. You do not know what the Onyx know, or what their agenda is, but they killed Archek just for the mere mention of what he knew, or the contact there. Wallaby got the hell out of Dodge when he found out about what's going on with Archek. Suggested that you do the same, and in fact, leaned on the local Tekeknu gang, the Natari, saying, "Hey, these guys just killed an emissary of your queen." Little did you know that was in fact Archek's title. He was an emissary of the Queen of Paratisium, as it was. He said, "You know what? Guess what? You guys go take word back to Paratisium that this is starting. There's something brewing here, and what we'll do is we'll start working on the bronze here in town." And that was all courtesy of Vivigeni, the leader of the Natari that you met as you guys entered the ways, the caverns below the city, the network of caverns that the Tekeknu control along with the slurry. Though they could not promise you safe passage, for the ways are old and they will always remain. It is eat or be eaten in the ways. However, you were allowed to pass should you be able to make it on your own. So, with all of that being said, you guys stand on the outskirts of this city, Lemoore, in close proximation to one of the farmsteads that are run by the large manufacturer known as Bushman Farms. The most recent, the one that would be close by, would be one that you're very familiar with, as you stayed there on your first night out of town, run by a gentleman known as Jonah Norman. That you had previously met. So the question that I ask you guys, and I need to pose to you is, all right, you walk into the city, but in what way, shape, or form do you choose to enter the city, knowing what you know? And now, before I go any further, stupid mouse, Sarah, you traded me. I am going to pull up a little bit better of a reference for you guys. So functionally, this is the map of Lemoore. There are, I marked out some of the main structures, heads of corporations, that sort of thing, on the right-hand side of the map. This is by no means the entirety of the legend. I have other facilities that I can reference for you guys. So if you're like, I would like to go to the market, I can say, well, there's this market over here, which is in a nicer area of town, or there's this market over here, which is in the slums. And I can give you guys information about, along those lines, but I'm not going to just like put 100 denotators on the screen. Otherwise, you guys won't be able to find anything. But those are the main facilities. And just note that, so we're looking east as you're looking at the mountainside, not north. And everything gets built upward into the woods. So there's a rise in elevation as you head towards Agatas, which is number 11. So at this point, you guys would be coming in from the south, which is the right-hand side of the map. However, due to the nature of travel, I would allow you guys to be coming in from really anywhere, since you guys are still in the outskirts. So if you guys wanted to wander around towards, let's say, the northern gate, that would be plenty fine. Where you guys would have entered before would have been kind of where the E is currently. You guys can see that there's a bit of a ruined out fortress just east of there, which was a heavily controlled waterway that would lead straight to the White Flow. There was a cavern just outside of number 10, basically on the other side of the walls, that you guys would have managed to escape through.
I have a really important, critical question.
Sure.
Is there really a dragon just chilling up there in the mountains?
There are dragons in the Highlands.
Just like, uh-oh.
One thing you guys would know is that the Highlands is a predominant place for the existence of Jotun, Norns, dragons, onyx, and dwarves.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Oh yeah. And I might have included dragons that you might be able to hunt into some of the backstories of some of the NPCs in the city.
Wow.
So ironically, yes. Although that was there just for flair. I'm so happy with this map I built, so not to toot my own horn, but
yeah, I gotta like get this so it's good.
Glad you're enjoying it. We do have a mission from that guy, the Bushman farmer that we stayed with that one night. He wanted us to scout the forest. I mean, we wandered through it quite a bit. Could we talk to him on our way into town, or is that... Are we in so much of a rush that we're not even going to stop by him? I'm not asking Josh, I'm asking the party, though.
Yeah. There are two farmers. Jonah Norman was the one that you guys talked to on your way out, but when you were talking to the Buckums, they mentioned that a local farmer near them, near the woodlands, was looking towards creating machines to harvest the orchards. And his name was... Dante. Yes, thank you. So Dante is on the way in, but it's not Jonah Norman. Just so you know.
Okay. I forgot that they were different people, but still. Proposing, like, you know, asking you two, are we stopping there, or is Emery in, like, full... Shit,
no,
get there.
That's, it's actually a good idea to go there. Because I was thinking maybe the farmers have a way into the city. Maybe if we did him this favor, he'd maybe bring us in on a cart or something more, low-key. I feel like some of us aren't really liked by, like, the Onyx and others in town. It might be good to be a low-profile way in.
That's a very good idea. Excuse me.
Ilya got scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, scary.
Suddenly he's Batman now that he's in a crooked city.
I don't know who Rachel is, but I'm very mad about it. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go in there through the front door. Yeah, but as long as it's in service of the task we have with a severe time constraint.
Just so you,
And it's settled.
I'm pulling up the main map because, just so you guys are familiar, Dante would be where it says Buckham's. He'd be in that general area. So that's about 2 days from Lemoore.
Is
So
it on our way back, or would we miss it?
You guys could have hit it up on the way. So we'll just with time, like zoom it back or whatever. That's no big deal. Because we're mainly just generalizing travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we had gained time. You said we had a few days, so I think that's
Yeah.
that.
So if you had a conversation a day ago versus a conversation right now, it's change.
Yeah. It's about our gameplay and getting back into town. Okay, do we have to do any checks to try to find this guy's farm, or are we just that good? More specifically, is Emery that good? Because Ilya and I are not passing this test.
So there's a couple ways you could do this. You could look around and try to like, hi everybody to the local farmers and go door to door knocking. You could go talk to the Buckums because they were familiar with Dante Ogilvy because he was giving them trouble with this. Or you could go and theoretically I would allow you to do a knowledge people check to see if you remember if they were like, yeah, that guy over there, he's all, and then just go off of like memory.
I'm mostly good at the survival bit, so
Yeah.
I have A rank in knowledge people.
I also have a rank in knowledge people, but that's a green and a yellow. So if there's a survival route, we should take it, because Emery's real good at it.
Yeah, I'm sure we could. So we don't know where his farm is exactly, because I got the impression that we got a task from him in particular.
No, you guys never met Dante Ogilvy.
Hmm.
You guys met Jonah, and Jonah was just happy that you guys cured his beasts of burden of the plight that they had. And then when you met the Buckums were like, those Dante Ogilvy's conspiring to make machines to mess with our orchards, sort of thing.
Okay, so I got that part. I was just trying to remember how he came into getting us back to Lemoore.
So was there a survival option or to try to find it? Or was it
No, it'd be knowledge people, or to try to like remember back to like, well, then they're referencing this, that, or the other. They were referencing over here, so I can deduce that this is his place. Or I would allow you to do a charm check, which is basically like your ability to converse, like approach people's houses and converse with them and get the information as strangers.
I vote talk to randoms. Randoms love us.
Oh, yeah, we haven't had a single negative experience with randoms that we can. Oh.
See, he
been
gets
mostly
it.
friendly so far?
Very well. Who's someone give me a charm check?
Well, I mean, howdy, how's it going today?
I got 2 success.
Oh,
Whoa!
Ilya's on it.
Quit looking at my dice.
I'm sorry. Yeah, get away from
What do you have
me.
a problem with her looking
So-
unless you're cheating?
As begets the laws of chivalry, you approaching these farms, signaled from afar, turned your cape out so they would know that you were approaching them, and what heraldry you had, if you had any, and basically approached after they re-signaled back to you and waved you on. And as they discussed with you, apparently Dante Ogilvy's farmstead is on the southern edge of the forest, abutted a bit west of there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drop a little thing here. Doop.
Doop.
So that's Dante's the little O is Dante Ogilvy's farm, and they go ahead and direct you that way. And after a few hours of travel, in one of your days, you're able to come upon Dante Ogilvy's farming compound in the evening, and there you see several large, stout. Actually, it's one large, stout structure that appears to be some sort of shed that you guys have been passing by these monstrous sheds in the past.
You guys lead the way. I have to go grab.
And built atop one of these. This stout stone columns and reinforced steel structures is a house sitting on the top. The house you recognize as a house because it has a chimney and a front door, but it appears that all the windows are either shuttered or there are no windows on the facility.
Gotta be an OSHA violation.
This place doesn't seem too friendly, does it?
No, but that is a familiar feeling.
You're unfortunately right.
There is smoke coming from the chimney.
You want to knock, or should I?
I think I'll give it a knack. I had good luck with the other farmers in the area.
As you approach, there is a staircase that winds up the side. That runs up the side, almost like a fire escape of the shed. And as you come closer to the side of the building to start scaling up, you see a light get unshuttered from the top corner of the shed. It basically illuminates the fire escape type staircase, and a figure looms over the top of it and goes, "Huh?" But you can't make out much details because the light is kind of like obscuring your view of him from the top. That's far enough. What do strangers want in my area?
Are you Dante Ogilvy? I am Ilya, and this is Wretch Braventail. And Emery.
How are you now? Ogilvy be my sire's name, yes.
We heard you wanted reports of the forest in exchange for modest reward.
You mean to tell me that my aspirations have managed to reach the ears of strangers?
Roughly, yeah.
Well, by the sounds of it, we probably have a conversation to be had. Are you looking for a place to stay for the night?
Probably not. I glance over at Emery. I know Sarah's not here, but I glance over at Emery and like the urgent rush to get back to Lemoore, and we're still like 2 days out.
So don't worry about time, because we rewound time. This is like in the evening of one of the days as you were traveling. This is already budgeted for. You've blown a couple of hours.
Then would Wretch have been super chill about time?
Yeah, you would have been. You still would have been out of the forest. You would still have 2 days of travel. So this is like 2 days, and you have 7 days right now. That's where you're sitting.
All right. Okay.
Nonetheless, things tend to go pear-shaped for us. Like the feeding grounds tribe Flame. Jeez, yeah. So I would like to give us as much time as possible.
Oh, these are a matter of business. It can be done. He goes, seeing it is as it is the witching hour, and it is a matter of business, I don't see a reason to invite you upwards unless you're looking to stay. So we can carry on this conversation just in such a formal manner, or we can wait till the light of day and carry it on by desktop.
Well, if it's that late, then I suppose we would need a place to stay.
Fine. We can go into the into the bunker, I suppose.
At least there aren't any trees trying to eat us. That's something to look forward to.
I give you
For now.
After all, I can give you a break from that blasted Oradon while we're at it. Very well, have yourself away. And you hear pull a lever, and one of the fire escape staircases goes and actually comes down so that you can actually come up it.
Well, right.
Fancy.
Curious.
I mean, I go in.
Yeah,
I go in first.
Goodness.
As you guys come up onto this steel columned but mostly metal shed, you guys can hear that it makes stealth pretty hard because you're walking on tin, right? But on top of it is an old timey wooden farmhouse. And he goes over, and as he opens up the front door, you see bright light coming from the inside of the building itself. He leans inward and he goes, Clint, we're gonna have guests. Make sure the foyer has drinks ready. We got about 4 of us. Probably some of the dwarven fire that we got left over, if you don't mind. Be right there, dearie. You hear from inside. And he kind of ushers you guys in towards a sitting room.
Fire. I don't know if fire is very nourishing.
Yeah, you should say that to my contraptions. All of them run off dwarven fire. But if you guys aren't looking for any alcohol to wet your whistle, we do got smokes. Some of the best over here. Calamint is rather nurturing on the stomach, if I must say so myself. And in front of you is it's a dwarf, but he's got a hat of one of those old gold panners, right? So it's like a floppy Western cowboy hat. But surprisingly, he's got all of his teeth, and he looks actually rather youthful. Very taunt skin with a healthy sheen to it. And a dirty blonde hair that seems to be in almost you can't really see underneath this hat, but you can see it's like a high and tight on the sides.
Hmm.
So he gestures towards what looks to be a stained round table that would sit probably 6 people tightly and 4 people comfortably, but there's enough space for 5. As he looks over and he pulls a stool from the side of his he's got a bar set into the sitting space. He pulls that around to the other side of it and hops up on it, getting himself comfortable. And, he kind of gestures out. He's got a couple of pipes hanging from his between his fingers, like he's gesturing in an offering manner.
No, thank you. Maybe just some water, if it wouldn't be too much trouble.
Sure. But water for the young Wooland over here. Oh, jeez, sure. Just one moment. I gotta get the kids to bed.
I'll take one of the smokes, sure. So I'll just reach out and take one, I guess.
Okay.
If it is offered.
Yep.
Also, I
take
forget.
water.
Do I still feel the feelings of the hunger?
They're
They're all gone from my sheet, so I imagine you told
yeah.
us they were gone.
They would have cleared up as you guys were
Problem.
traveling. Yep. So we'll not play around with the time too much. We'll just say it's gone by the time you reach the Buckums. Sorry, by the time you reach Dante Ogilvy. In walks a youthful female dwarf who appears to be beardless, but with a great golden mane herself of detailed, intricate braids that is probably about this big around, draped down her back. And she comes forward with a pitcher of water and a couple of glasses. Oh, you do got a wide variety of guests. Pleasure is mine. We don't see a lot of folks from outside of town.
Nice to
What?
meet you.
This is sorry. What was your names again?
I'm Emery.
I'm Ilya.
Wretch.
Glint at your service. Please make yourself at home, but try to keep the noises down. So we just got the chickens to bed.
Of course. Thank you.
Of course, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And we do have warm stew on this in the cauldron. She hurries off. So, you see him. He's got like this roll case desk that he's messing with the drawers. He goes, "So, you hear about about plans? I'm assuming it having to do with harvesting vegetation on behalf of Bushman Farms." Where did I put those?
Roughly correct, yes.
And I myself here have a pretty lucrative opportunity with my geographical setting to potentially step foot into the woodlands and gather resources that have traditionally been hard earned through bartering. Now, I'm assuming, having you known all of that you have something to bring to the table.
If you take from the woodlands, especially the forest floor, you will be meddling with likely a much larger internal conflict. Excuse me, not likely. Absolutely, it is a much larger internal conflict with tribes that exist within the woodlands. Very, very complex relationships between the Scylan and the Flayun tribes, and
The Deerman.
all levels of the forest.
I know all about the Deerman tribe. Old Buckham's trying to warn me that if I tampered with the fringe wood, that they would tan my hide and pull it off my back. That's a bunch of primitive talk. These creatures haven't seen the likes of the ingenuity of Lamore and Bushman Farms.
We have seen, and we have fought the things that dwell on the surface of that forest. They are battling forces well beyond what any of us have seen. And I'm not going to presume your experiences, but I can tell you that I would recommend that you
Find other avenues for
consider the weight of that kind of meddling. I understand that this is also tying into matters that are beyond my knowledge on your end, but I have seen creatures that, and these are just the babies, that heal wounds as soon as they're made and have an insatiable hunger. Living trees tried to kill us.
Carnation. He goes, yeah, carnation, as we say.
That wood, between you and me, there's something ominous about it. It wants to suck the very blood from your bones. Ah. Now, I thought that was stuff left for Kirkhoven, but between you and me, a lot of match. This plow the place under. Get the good nutrients back into the soil from those ashes. But Chetelcorp and a lot of others seem to think that there's a lot of useful things that could be garnered from Carnation still. Fruits of meat. Could you imagine? Fruits of meat. You wouldn't have to worry about raising cattle and like. We could harvest that. Just imagine what kind of resources it would bring to civilization.
But,
Roll
It
negotiation
would
for
also
me.
bring tremendous ruin upon the forest and upon yourselves.
Roll
There-
negotiation for me, real quick. Ilya.
feels so
What's
good
up?
with Ilya being the one to say all this instead of me. Like,
If you could roll negotiation, that would be wonderful, buddy.
Ah, shit.
feels nice to not be the only one speaking up for the little trees.
We did
and
swear an oath.
forest people.
So there's a difference between so your oath covers the feeding grounds in the deep wood. Then there's the fringe wood, which is the outer border too. So there's
Yeah.
some wordplay that you can use too. What did you get, sir?
Yeah, it just feels
2
scum.
success, 2 advantage.
So he looked you over and goes,
The forest is dangerous. Judging by that sword you got strapped to your hip, and that gnarly looking mace you got swinging from yours, young ratling.
just have a stick.
I'm assuming you got a spear. Yeah, he goes. I'm assuming you already have a solution in mind. You're gonna help old Dante Ogilvy, escorting him and keeping him safe out there into that forest. Well, I apply my trade. Is that right? That I be, of course.
Tell me, have you ever fought an enemy that you can't see, but you know is there?
We did that.
He goes, well, my land sharks tend to travel unnoticed until they pop up out of the ground and swallow things whole that you would ride. So I could see why, not knowing where things are, especially predators, could potentially pose a pretty modest threat.
I wouldn't say modest, more like has killed or nearly killed Emery here twice.
It is.
When
He's
I-
really
when-
good at getting impaled.
Yeah, I murdered a Tengu, mutilated his corpse, and I took his skull as a trophy.
We've got to go back
The
to
things inside that forest. Now, what we saw was horrifying abominations that are merely a part of nature for that place. And we were trying to get through there as quickly as possible. We had a very clear mission in mind, and it still took us days. And like you said, we have an enchanted sword and a gnarly mace, and it was still quite a trial for us. And we can give you information, which is why we came here, and give as wise a counsel as possible. But we not only do we have business in Lemoore that is quite pressing and has a hard time limit, but to take you through the forest and help you harvest it may be contradictory to an oath we swore. And that's something that I don't think I can do. I don't know if I can help you raise a hand against the forest.
one thing for you to
There is
consider.
probably a way for you to. I understand you want to harvest and not barter, but there may be a way for you to negotiate with the denizens of the forest, and I can promise you what you have, whatever you have at your disposal. While it may be impressive, you have to ask yourself, is it worth sacrificing? Because there's a lot of very complex geopolitics going on in those woods. And one thing that would probably very surely unite the people of the forest is an intruder trying to take from it.
Now,
Dustin, you put a whole new spin on the prospectors. There's gold in them there hills. Now there's complicated geopolitical politics in them there hills.
Murderous geopolitics.
Headline for the session: Murderous Geopolitics.
Yeah.
There are interdimensional horrors and living gods out there murdering the interdimensional horrors. We found their corpses.
son, now, something to understand is I'm a frontiersman myself. I make a living out here. There's a reason why I don't let just any old person waltz up into my bastion. Especially during twilight. This is a dangerous world, and I'm not unaccustomed to that. Quite frankly, I would prefer to trade with these folks, but the thing is about trade is that I need to have the proper information to bring to Bushman Farms. Now, all I'm looking at to do, originally speaking, is just get an idea of the fauna and the flora, especially the flora, and figure out just in all technicality what it would take to harvest such a thing. That way I can bring it, devise blueprints, bring those to Bushman Farms for potential harvesters. That way we can come up with some sort of element of scale and just what we're looking for harvesting. Bring that to these tribes, as you call them, so that they understand what we can offer. And we understand what it's worth that we're going to get out of such of a transaction. But I can't even begin this process if I don't know and can't put eyes on what potential gold, fleshy gold, tenuous, sinewy materials, resources are just outside of reach. Here's the thing. It wasn't 100 years ago that all the surrounding territory here just next to the forest and the fringewood was unclaimed, because it was too dangerous to set outside the walls of our beloved Lemoore. Look at us now. We're prospering. In fact, the city of Lemoore couldn't survive without the goods and resources that we bring into that city. So, are you gonna help me? Do you have something worth trading to move me along this process, or are you a concerned citizen just looking for my well-being?
I mean, we've given you all we can, the information of what's out there. It seems like you've made up your mind that you can handle it. I don't think we can accompany you at this point. We have other pressing matters, and unfortunately just barely survived an altercation with that forest ourselves. I'm not sure we're entirely inclined to go right back just yet.
Yeah, we have other matters to take care of, but if you are... I don't... Well, yeah, there are living trees whose fruits taste like meat. There is that. There are living trees whose sap is like noxious blood. I've been told that has some excellent properties, but there are many wonders and mysteries within the forests that are potentially profitable and highly dangerous. I will admit that when we were going through the forest, our goal was very clear, and it was not to... wasn't quite to look for resources, but we will definitely consider, or I would be willing to consider, joining on some kind of diplomatic mission to discuss with some of the tribes in the Fringewood what kind of resources, some kind of deal with them so that you are not a plundering intruder and we are not placing ourselves within a very complex situation. But I will not speak for the party. That is just how I'm feeling about joining you there.
No, thank you, Ilya. I feel the same way. It's just not right.
Yeah, I am actually a concerned citizen looking out for your welfare. I don't know you, but I don't want to watch you, or I don't want to see a father murdered by strange magical creatures. It's an unpleasant experience. But I also I see the forest as a beautiful example of the cycle of life, and I'm not ready to watch that be interrupted in a catastrophic way for both parties.
Now, I cordially respect that. I myself am a God-fearing man. I do make my sacrifices to Cinder. May he forever rule the woodlands. And I make my sacrifices to Ranvalar himself, that he may guide my hand and yoke my family in the same direction, pushing with my fellow comrades towards a common goal. Now, I would ask you guys if you were unwilling to help venturing capitalists as myself here on these with the hard frontier life, venture back into danger. Maybe, perhaps, since we have the night, we could speak of your ventures in the woods, and you could regale me with your tales. That way, maybe I get a bit of an insight into the woods themselves.
Clarify. It's not that I'm unwilling to. I'm willing to help under the auspices of a diplomatic mission where you work directly with the members or the people of the Fringewood to discuss what resources are plentiful or renewable enough that they are willing to trade access to those resources for something that you have to offer them. I understand that you have a family to feed, and like you said, the reason that these lands are bountiful and can lend harvest is because you staked out a living here. That is something that Zenor and I can appreciate very much. We live hard lives. We face them grimly.
Thank you. If that's the on the note that you wish to have bent my ear, so to speak, when are you guys willing to head out? I sure will have to settle things with Glint, make sure that farmstead's well provisioned for before I go, but I could certainly give me a couple of days, maybe 3 days, and I could be ready to go.
Can I try to read really quick if he's being honest, like he's honestly taking what he's suggested to heart?
Yeah, give me an interpretation check.
Because this whole time he's been kind of against the diplomatic thing, so weird that he kind of just...
He's not necessarily against the diplomatic thing, he's just not... How do I put it? Go ahead and give me an interpretation check. That's how you interpreted what I've been saying.
One success, 3 advantage.
It's hard for you to read past whatever he's projecting for.
Okay.
But it's not like he hasn't. It's not like he was like, I'm gonna run him over, or anything like that. He was just saying, hey, like, I want to go in there and I want to get some resources, so to speak.
Mm.
It's hard to necessarily engage more than we have previously, so to speak. With your knowledge of the Buckums, I would say that the Buckums are it's pretty. Even the best of Woodland in the Fringewood are pretty standoffish, and even then they also have their own language. So there's a lot of cultural barriers to historically parlay.
Okay.
Well, in the meantime, if you would love to, if you could regale me, maybe I could, offer you guys a little, along with your food, maybe a little bit of coin to go on the way, get us started. But 3 days, would you guys be willing to escort me into the woods?
We have a pressing matter in Lemoore, which has a hard timeline. So we would have to get that sorted, get to and from Lemoore before we could join you. We simply do not have the time to do it otherwise. It will take several days to get to the Fringewood, as I understand it. And it will certainly take time once we're there to begin negotiations and get you the surveying information that you really need.
Sure. Tell you what, the Twillet is in 7 days. Can I expect to see you before the following Twillet, or before this Twillet?
Sure.
I think so.
All right. It was so within 2 Twillets, essentially. So within 27 days.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
I'll have my affairs in order. But come back through and see old Dante Ogilvy, and we'll get something situated as you guys are passing back this way.
And we have other business in the forest that I at least would like to tend to.
Absolutely, yes. At some point we need to get back to the Bracken Bash, right?
Yeah, and I need to get to the Eye of Azralam. That's a bit of a journey, though.
Baby steps. You need your headdress first.
I do. I earned that.
I finished making its stats the other day, and I'm pretty excited about it.
I hope we don't run into any Tengu who would find that completely sacrilegious.
Well, as they are virtually unheard of in this area, I don't think you should have too many issues. Do you guys regale him with your stories of the forest and?
Oh,
whatnot?
I'm going to talk about that Tengu.
Yeah.
Story
Story time.
and then this bird guy was like this, and he's like, so the ascents, they were that big, and they were that far apart, and the daylight, you're saying, he's like taking notes about like the flora and the fauna and asking questions, and you're like, and then we were like,
Bird guy! Bird guy! Bird guy! And
I push my blade through his
he's
skull.
like, how about them plants?
So if you guys are pretty forthcoming with your guys' knowledge of the area and some of the cultural things, that what you could explain to him over an evening, smoking his pipe weed and having a conversation. Then he's gonna let you guys out the door with 50 silver
Piece or
Wait.
total?
total.
Okay.
Just for the
We
good
do want to know
conversation.
how to
That's-
get
I mean,
into...
that's like several days' pay.
Oh, we were looking specifically to figure out a safe and effective means of getting into Lemoore and back to Witch Lady.
So perhaps that would... Do you happen to know a way that we could get into the city?
We may have some unkind associations in Lemoore at the moment.
I mean, you can head in through the front gates. Who's it? I mean, unless you're worried about harvesters or
Yep.
trouble with the
Harvesters
law,
in the
huh?
Onyx. I wouldn't say in trouble with the law so much as one of us voiced our opinion that was quite unpopular with the city folk.
Listen, I don't want to get too involved with anything that could cost me my livelihood and my farm, but what are we talking at here? You piss off some local gang head, lieutenant?
I said something along the lines of that turning yourself into a metal unholy abomination, and one out of like every 3 of these surgeries ends in a death probably wasn't a great way to go. And they didn't like that. They didn't like that at all.
Yeah, that stuff doesn't really sit well with the executives at Ammo or A&B Corp or Mastercraft Tectonics. Yeah, you really gotta be tender with those fairy-hearted souls in there in Lemoore. They're all a bit tender, especially about their physical appearance. Yeah, us dwarves are typically pretty crass, hard as the mountains we're carved from. But so yeah, I mean, typically you can just pay a fine here and there if something's particularly bad. I mean, you couldn't just say too much.
1, they never asked me for a fine or anything, so I don't know. 2, I don't have any money.
You do have an element now.
Oh, well, that'll do it. Got no money, plus pissing off the people who vote with the coin. Yeah, it'll typically land you in somewhere unsavory. Well, I mean, I might be able to pull some strings, try to get you in. Wasn't planning on bringing in some of my harvest for a bit. There was that bud wake just a little bit back. We've been seeing some good crops grow. I would have to pull some out of the field quickly, but I might be able to get one of my youngins to help you out. But as far as other ways in, I mean, so you could, if you're looking to get a little bit into the skullduggery arts, there's some boats going up the Fonts Rambalar, if you could find a way to smuggle yourself in that way. Maybe pay off a boatman or two. There's other farmers bringing in their crops on a regular basis. Other ships, too, for that matter. Just depends on what Font Laneway is open. Otherwise, you might be able to just pay off a guard. That typically works pretty good for some folks. They're not usually too hard on this stuff, and if you're not making too much of a jerk, it kind of looks. It was this guy, wasn't it? I'm sorry. Like I said, I respect all the gods. Dahlia's a bit of a precocious one when it comes to beauty and her particularities. Is it safe to assume, Wretch, was it that? What did you have it in mind to do a little bit of freelance priesting? Maybe preaching from the streets? That stuff kind of gets slapped irons every now and then.
Yeah, pretty much that was about it.
Okay, well,
Sorry. Question for DM, not person. The Onyx guys, what is their role in the city again?
there is a gang called the Bronze.
Okay, so they are a gang.
Yes.
They are not like, okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't like they'd be like guarding the doors, right? Okay.
There is a gang called the Bronze. That doesn't necessarily mean that every
person who is an
Yes.
Onyx is part of the gang, but
Yep, not trying to be racist.
Yep.
Just couldn't remember their name.
Yep.
Alright. Well, what do you guys think? I mean, it's kind of like your crime in this case, so whatever you're comfortable with, I guess. I just need to stay out of the seedier parts of town, I think.
Yeah, we might be okay. I don't know. I hid it in a cellar for a couple weeks, so that's the answer I got here. I mean,
so there are 3.
Doesn't your witch lady kind of live in a seedier part of town?
Well, I mean, I have to visit her. But getting into town, getting through the walls, that's more of a how bad is your crime? How do you want to go in sort of thing. I'll leave that to you.
It's not great. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, yeah. We should keep a low profile.
Should we lean on Dante then, or should we
not go
just
go through a main gate if possible?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure they've probably paid off guards to say, hey, that guy came through.
If you stood on my shoulders and we pretended that I was a very, very large rat.
That would work.
They would think
I
they'd
like
be looking
that.
for a short guy. Yeah. A short rat, but a tall rat should totally throw them off. Yeah.
We have a plan.
Yeah.
We need a really big cloak.
Yeah, or something, or conceal your identity somehow.
I mean, there's no reason the dwarf guy left, right? He's right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have a tarp?
Yeah.
We have a cloak.
I mean, he kind of just looks at your back. You are wearing a cloak.
But not really big enough for me and the guy. Me and the guy. Are you listening? Look at this cloak. Is it covering me and an entire another guy? No, that's not how cloaks work, man.
I do have a cloak. It's once again, it's dwarf size, but it's got the Lemoran star on it. If you're interested in buying it off of us.
Well, we could. You're not the only Ratton person to come through Lamora, are you?
You're probably the only Latin person who worships Dahlia, though.
Well,
no offense. You're the first one I've seen.
Who's walking around in plate armor and a cape.
Yeah, you're kind of memorable. Yeah.
Well, is your icon of Dahlia something you can hide? And, let me hold on to the mace for a second?
So,
I don't know.
Maybe more importantly, is the inside of your cloak, do you have your, as a wandering traveler, historically speaking, you'd have the inside of your cape be white with your symbol on it too? So that way you could turn your cloak inside out as you're walking for anyone to see who needs aid from your god. You could come to a village and give your services. Is that something? I would assume that's something that you have.
Yeah.
But taking off your cloak would be a big, or flipping it right side in so that it's brown on the outside would be just a long ways to helping with that sort of stuff too.
I still like tall rat.
Yeah, it's funnier. Why is his head so small compared to his body? I thought you people didn't body shame.
Yeah,
so there's 3 main gates here. One is right here. This is the main gate by far. Oops, that was supposed to be a bubble. And,
now you can see the
little
little tiny door.
tiny little nipple there, huh? Yeah, so this is the main gate by far over here. It goes into the merchant district, and it's where pretty much anyone who's coming to visit Lemoore goes through. The next gate is right here, and this is the gate that is used by all of the farmers to bring in all of their resources to Bushman Farm Manufacturing, which is where it all gets canned and processed and ready for market. The last gate is down here, and this gate is more of it's like a dock where a lot of boats will come and dock, and they'll offload product to get pushed through a smaller port that is ran by like small rafts and stuff like that up into the city from there. Meanwhile, the main two passageways by boat are here and here, which is where a lot of the freight gets shipped out. So the gates are the river gates are big enough for ships to pass through, whereas this one over here, not so much. And then lastly, there is this one over here, which is super fortified from a begotten time, but has been fallen to ruin over time because this here is the original mint for the coinage of all of Utica, the old world. But the mint has long been out of use since Utica has fallen. Essentially, it's a fallen kingdom. So this is a huge way that used to be very, very popular for a very specific reason, but it was heavily guarded and all that. So anyways, there's another river passage in that it's less guarded, but is getting into this where the 9 is too. This is like Onyx gang territory. Number 10 is the Tikeknu gang territory, so the Natari. And that's also the passage that goes in and out via the waves. And then, of course, you guys could go all the way up into the mountains and try to find your way through the old mines. So there's lots of mines. Some of them are all used up. Some of them are dwarven mines. Some of them are active onyx mines. So
I say we go through the most busy gate, so there's a lot of people. Because if you go through a gate that's not very well used, then the guards there are bored, and they're going to give each person more scrupuling, right?
Yeah.
They're going to scrupulate all over you.
So much.
Yeah, and you go through a very busy gate, and we go with tall rat plan.
I don't think we could actually do tall rat, although it would be. I think we should earn skullduggery ranks if we make that work. But at the same time, it may be easier just to conceal the ratten's identity somehow.
Okay.
Cowardice.
Practicality, I like to call it.
Tall rat plan. All right. I mean, a different character would just say super rat and we swim in, but
I like main.
yeah, I think even serious plan of just like flipping my cloak to help with that and wandering in.
Or you can buy the cloak off this guy. That's like totally different too.
But I am very poor and I just got some money. How much does he want for the cloak?
The cloak.
Did he say?
He did not say.
But like it also,
Probably
I guess you could save the money to pay off the guard at the door if you need to too.
But then he would have no cloak, no extra cloak.
That's true.
If one works and one doesn't, get the one that gives you a resource, right?
Yeah.
It's your guys' choice.
My choice was tall rat, and I was shot down.
I proposed the idea.
I like tall rat.
I think it's
Fun.
hilarious. Do I know if it'll work? No. But
If you
want to
think
see it? Yes.
that will actually work for you to sit on my shoulders and be tall ratting.
I think tall rat's the best plan we got.
I will watch gladly.
Wait. Why don't we have tall rat, but I'm on top of one of Emery's like crazy deer
Construct.
things?
That's not as funny.
That you know what? That's a good change though.
All
Wait,
right.
It's your choice.
Do you have a construct that?
Hold on. Are constructs allowed in Lemoore?
Oh,
Like, would anybody
Oh,
think
hell
that's
yeah.
weird?
No, they wouldn't think it's weird
They
at all.
would be one of the main creators of constructs in the entire world.
Can you
Could I
form a
actually-
construct around me and I just ride in it?
Yeah, could I make you a sort of body? We'll think it's like an experiment. See, it'll be kind of fun. I'll give you bigger, longer legs, maybe. I don't know. We could go crazy.
I like this plan.
Can I do that?
Make them look funny with your
Yeah,
magic.
like make it look like he's got
Make a mech.
augmentations that are like my wood and stuff
Yeah.
instead of.
Yeah, that would be within your power.
Yeah.
Be like a Gundam.
If you want it to just be like cosmetic, that'll be a different role than like if you're trying to make, for instance, a Gundam. However, if you, I was just clarifying because if you're like, oh, I wanted to like throw off his looks and stuff like that, and then you try to do Gundam shit with it, I'm like, I did not make that hard enough of a chick.
No, no, we can keep it. I mean, what do you want? How do you want it?
I want to become a tree person.
A tree person. Okay. Now, it might be a little bit tougher if I have to move your legs. Whereas if you've got to move your leg, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to think, like, okay, left foot, right foot, and then you're kind of trying to left foot, right foot, and, you know.
I'll move your legs. Don't you? I will move. I will move the legs.
Okay. So it's like I just picture like his little legs like right here, and then you do like upper body stuff for him.
Yeah, you could, like, weave sticks around his arms.
Mm-hmm.
Make it look like he's got, like, a wood chest. Like, kind of, like, cover his armor with, like... Yeah. Make him almost look like he's got bark all along his skin.
Okay. So are we gonna fast forward to you guys approaching the city?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Zoom all ahead.
Zoom.
You guys got 50 silver total from just the conversations with Dante. Him saying, "Hey, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for the great conversations and the information."
I took 17.
Took a lot of notes.
Yeah, you can take more. I don't need much. I have a lot more than everybody else, I think.
The bud wake has dried off. It is no longer drizzling all the time. You guys are on a beautiful day, accompanied by 3 lit suns, predominantly all on the western horizon.
I have some cloaking feathers from the bird.
Okay.
How do those kind of work? Like, how does... They were kind of more like making him invisible versus...
Well, they're an ingredient, so they could be distilled into like an alchemical potion of some sort. If you had a recipe, if you're looking to like just like hold one and be like magic.
No, I meant like if I like was to like weave it into his costume to make him look less.
Yeah, you're gonna consume it as one of the ingredients to your magical spell. Yeah, I'll allow it to add to the glamour effect.
It said 1 bushel, so I'm gonna assume that's one, like, yeah, one.
You have one bushel of his feathers.
Yeah.
Okay, one bushel would be like 50 of his feathers.
Yeah. So maybe just. Let's see. I have plenty of wooden sticks and stuff, so I want to mostly use that and just kind of. If I could just use a few of those feathers.
Yeah, I'll say you dropped 5 feathers into that.
Okay, -5.
I'll say if you have like 10 other crafting resources.
I do. Can I have these back later?
You guys can just pick stuff up on the way too.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that. These are special wood pieces for my elk. You see right here, this is the perfect, like, antler that will get you sticks along the way. It'll be fine. Bigger pieces of...
Okay.
Took me forever to find a stick shaped just like this.
Just like a
Okay.
nose.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a witchcraft check, right? So... Wow! What a terrible roll for me.
You do great.
1 success, 2 advantage.
One
I
success.
rolled 2 blanks.
Okay. You try to like put all these sticks and stuff on them, and you're just having a hard time making it come to life. So I'm gonna have you guys do a skullduggery check to try to like make it look like he's a so skullduggery or performance check to try to just like give him a costume.
All right.
Did you take the 2 strain for that?
Yep.
Oh
We
boy.
have 3.
Yeah,
Green.
there's no good. There's no good version of this. Not for Ilya. Oh goodness. 1 success, 1 advantage.
Same.
Okay.
Okay.
1
yeah,
and 3.
you guys. I rolled 0 failure, luckily.
Yay.
You guys managed to piece together something that, like, if you're looking at him, you're like, what is going on there? You know, like, it masks what he is. He's got, like, I imagine you guys picked, like, hay and, like, stuffed it in the collar of his breastplate, so, like, his head is just, like, covered in hay, and he has to, like, part for his eyes here and there, like, But you get a lot of strange folk coming into this place. Yeah, you guys got, like these, like, roped on sticks on him.
He's got some like the feathers are like tucked in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Do you guys approach the main gate?
You look great. Can I just say? Oh,
I do look great.
total makeover. I'm loving it.
I look
Loving it.
awesome. People love me.
Are you guys waiting for anything in particular before you guys go through the gate? Nighttime, daytime, people, no people, guard chain.
I would say I want to meld into a daytime rush.
Yeah, we need a crowd.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna have you guys give me a streetwise check as you
Ooh, I've got
attempt
those.
to like find a good time to like walk away.
Streetwise is kind of
Do you
okay.
want everybody to, or just one person?
I would prefer one person.
Okay, I get.
I do
I-
have
I have 2 green dice. That's it.
I have a yellow and a green, but I had to restart my phone because I'm having phone issues.
Okay, and I have 3 green.
Hold on.
So we have to decide.
3 green or 1 and 1?
Yeah, I feel like 1 and 1. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mathematically, if you're looking for success and advantage, 2 greens is better than 1 yellow.
Okay.
All right, then if you got 3 green, then go for it.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, so for the matter of this, you are taking the lead for this next scene. So whenever something happens, you're the one who shot caller.
Oh, I feel like it should be Wretch. All right, just follow me, okay? Act natural. You look beautiful, beautiful. 2 and 2.
Yeah, I didn't roll a despair.
Oh,
Okay. You start walking forward, and you've managed to wait until a carriage has drawn by. And the carriage is followed by 2 individuals on horseback. And as they start heading into town, you've been waiting, and there's this couple who is arguing outside of the town that it seems to have like made some sort of spat, and then you've timed it where the cart is luckily coming by at the same time this guy, well, the man has like and he's like stumbling back towards town. You managed to just wait just long enough where you can duck out behind a tree and like meet up with these guys coincidentally as you are heading towards the town. In front of the town are 2 guards, both of which appear to be greater dragon. So lizard men of pretty tall stature and great wings that can bear them aloft. One of them seems to be down near the front of the gate, mushing people forward, while the other one seems to be pacing up on top of the gate. As you guys are being brought in, he kind of like looking at the one person, like the guy who's stumbling in, appears to be drunk, and he kind of looks him over a little bit and kind of gives him the head nod so he can continue. He passes off some paperwork with someone from the cart as you guys are approaching from behind the cart, and he seems to be directing them in a particular direction at this point in time. Are you guys going to try to use cool to just like play it easy to come through, or are you guys going to try to use like no and try to like run past, or what's your thought here?
I was thinking play it cool, but what do you guys feel?
I definitely
Also,
wanna play
definitely
cool.
play cool.
Give
Yeah.
me cool checks.
All of us?
all of you.
Oh god, this is where I'm going to get it real bad. I can't wait. I have so many lines.
So I will allow, just so you guys are, I will allow Emery to attempt to activate the feathers in Wretch's outfit. So if you'd like, you can give me a magic check.
Yeah.
And which will help increase Wretch's check.
Yeah. Whoa.
He seems like that plan.
6 and 1. That's how I'm supposed to roll.
Okay.
There we go.
Doing so, as you're trying to like concentrate, this I rolled 4 threat. So you are able to successfully glamour him to the point where you don't even know where he is anymore. Like he just vanishes. And the thing is about this glamour is that he's not invisible. He's just not something anyone's able to focus on. He's just constantly background. And so he virtually vanishes. Add 3 yellow dice to your cool check, if you could, sir. That being said, Emery, you have the option to either take a lot of strain, or I'm going to have you become a point of focus.
I feel like the strain is the easy way out. But I'm like, I like the getting caught thing thematically.
What?
Huh?
I got 4 a triumph and 3 advantage, so I don't know.
I got 1
Triumph.
success to advantage.
I guess I'm a. Let's see what happens if I become interest. I'm sorry.
So, what did you say you got, Rich?
4 triumph, 3 advantage.
4 triumph?
4
Success.
success.
Okay.
A triumph. No,
Like, holy fuck balls.
no, you're very silly.
Okay. So you guys are passing through, and the guard continues to motion towards the carriage to continue off, and you guys pass through, and as you guys pass through into the town, you notice Wretch, that he the guard kind of scratches his head a little bit and kind of watches the other 2 pass. It doesn't do anything immediately. And then
Yeah.
he turns
Like
over
I
and goes,
was gonna play it super cool. I was gonna just like walk through, and then she's just like, "Hi, hi."
and and then he kind of looks over and he looks over at the other guard and references to him, and he goes, I'm going on break. And kind of like looks around a couple of times, and he starts making his way away from the gatehouse. Not towards you guys, but off in a perpendicular direction.
Do you think I shouldn't have waved or should have waved? I panicked.
You can't even see Wretch.
No, I just start talking to Ilya.
I think you're fine.
Okay. I think I played it really cool. I think, yeah, we got everything's cool. Yeah.
You guys have made it
Playing
into
it
the
so
market.
cool.
So you guys are up here in the I would say it's like the main heart of the city, mercantilely speaking. It's where most generic trade and whatnot goes on. It's where some of the more popular taverns, where visitors, especially most visitors who would be coming to Lemoore, are wealthy people, and this is the area kind of that's established as a safe place for them. It's like that hotel chain area of Cancun.
Yeah, this is where the tourists are corralled. Got it. Where is Diala again? I'm sorry, I forgot.
No problem. Diala is actually in this area. Diala is in this mercantile district.
Well, I have to go and see Diala. I don't know. You guys don't have to come with me if you have other things to do. But
You're like talking to
Wait.
Ilya.
where is Reg? Oh, should I not say wretch? Should I, this? You know, the other one?
Okay.
Ah,
Now, did I get lost, or am
No,
I
you're
definitely
right
just?
next to it.
it's just
Okay.
the cloaking is so good on what I
Yeah.
did.
Well, since I am right next to you, then I'll just be like, still here.
Oh, there.
Goodness, you're sneaky.
Yeah. Drawing attention to it, you can start to like see him for a little bit, and then it's like that thing where you can see a spot when it's really dark and your eyes are open, and then it just fades away. You have to like keep readjusting your eyes to like.
You can see him better out of the periphery than.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's just kind of doing the head bob, trying to see red.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm good I'm good at this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to accompany you to Diala. We've gone through quite a lot to get those Tears of the Weeping Willow.
Thank you, guys. By the way, you didn't have to go with me throughout all of this. Just
I got a headdress. Are you kidding me?
I really appreciate it. Whatever you guys need after this, but just this one last little drop in first.
Money.
Yes, that I could give you. Yeah.
Money.
Money.
Give me the coin.
I think this is the most money I've ever had. Anyway, maybe I'll pass it to you later though when I can like see your hand. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I start heading back over to Diala's.
You approach and you find the facility where you'd originally walked into, which is this a pretty unassuming place up in the stilts. This area is actually the stilts are sturdy, more wooden beams and everything like that. That they don't even creak. It's a well supported area with even mortared concrete supports in certain areas. And you find the old facility that you went to before, and opening the door. Sorry, as you approach the door and open it, it's totally different on the inside than it was originally. This appears to be some sort of back door to some sort of kitchen.
Did I get the address wrong? I could have sworn this is where we went last time. Hello?
You see a couple of, like one person almost like slips on some tiling, readjusts himself. You lost, love.
I'm sorry. I thought I came by a shop here before to see Diala.
No. Oh, kind of looks around. Yeah, walks. He like starts to close the door. You must have been here. What? 2 months ago that they hosted here. Listen, whoever told you about that, she doesn't stick in one place. One place all the time. She moves every toilet or so, and only stays open for a couple of days.
Oh,
If you're looking for the next party, I actually know where it's gonna be. It's actually gonna be down in the slums, just south of just west of Ammo. There's a place it's got a blue roof, but it's really faded, you know? You'll see her sign on the door. Apparently it's got a beaded door this time. But
I don't trust this guy.
keep an eye out, looking for it. Just, hey, dude, I'm right here. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to help you out. You're the one who's... And if you're... Listen, it's word of mouth.
okay.
I'm trying to bring any sticks. Keep an open mind.
You think she'll be there though if I go? This is kind of time sensitive.
Diala doesn't leave her domain, alright? But she does move it around a bit. Keep things interesting. It's fun to host over here in this the Mercantile District every now and then for some of the people looking to some of the people around here to get their money jumped, but it's really more of a locals affair.
Ooh.
Locals affair.
So last time you were in, it was like a red lit space with a disco ball, and there's a lot of freaks doing freaky dances and who knows what. Based off of your previous encounter, it seemed all very fey.
Yeah.
Based off of what was going on.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, sorry, so if I go over there, it should be open?
I don't see why not, but I
Okay.
gotta get back to work.
Okay, but thank you very much. You have a good day now.
You too. Scrap be with you. And he tucks back inside.
Oh, we trusting that guy?
If you want, do you want to do a check to see if he was being honest?
Yeah, give me an interpretation check, sir.
Because I
Gotcha.
trust pretty much anything everybody says to me lately.
That is heartwarming.
I trust everything.
Yeah.
Goodness. 1 success, 3 advantage.
I mean, he just seems like someone who's like a party boy who's like, yeah, don't like give up the rave location, man. Like, he doesn't. He seems a bit too immature to be nefarious.
Okay.
But it's definitely seedy, right? Like, it's a seedy joint. But it's more like, are you interested in BDSM kind of seedy than it is like, we're gonna kill you and and harvest your body for organs sort of seedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was the kind I was worried about. Like, I will put this sword to good use if I have to, but I don't want to. Okay. So, we're heading to west of Ammo, which is 6th.
Yep. So it'd be towards the wall. Yep. So you guys will have to cross through the city up towards the bridge that is just east of. It's up into the hills a bit, and you have to cross one of the major bridges to get above Foulheed Ironworks, and then continue across towards Chettlecorp, and then down into the nicer area of it's not the slums, it's not the mercantile district. It is an area that's a mixture of manufacturing and decent homes, like well-built homes that border the slums. So you're right in upper lower class, lower middle class.
I can deal with that. That sounds familiar.
Are you guys gonna? As you guys talk about this conversation, you've noticed that Wretch is there, kind of like nodding along, and he's got like the hay coming out, and his little nose pokes out.
No!
It appears that the feathers have worn off.
No!
Yeah, it's been like 20 minutes.
No!
Sorry.
Take the batteries out and blow on them.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna do anything on your travels to find Dial?
On everything. Wait, there was a tree in the woods who said that he would pay money for something that he could find in Lemoore, or vice versa. But he knew somebody who.
Yeah, it was Moss from Chettlecorp.
You could potentially find it at Chettlecorp, but if you would like to give me a streetwise check or a knowledge people check, a streetwise
He
check.
said that's where it was from.
Right. Despite that being said, he's not necessarily the bearer. Like, Chettlecorp will have it, yes. That's like saying Dell will have a laptop.
Oh, gotcha.
I got a triumph, a success, and an advantage.
A triumph, a success, and an advantage. Which one did you roll?
What do you mean?
What did you roll?
Oh, streetwise.
Streetwise? There's other alchemy shops in the area that might have it too. as you guys are walking through the town, one of the places that you would be passing by, you are here. The Silver Lining Smoke Shop might have what you need, depending on the properties of the Feathered Filigree Moss. Bitterroot's business is in the central slums, kind of where you guys are headed. It's a peddler in that area. Otherwise, the more obvious places to check would be the Twisted Tincture, which is in Market District. It's a like specific alchemy shop. Like that's what they do. They sell alchemical ingredients and whatnot. Or you could go to Bushman's Bazaar, which has ingredients to many things, but traditionally, if it's alchemical, they would only have the common.
Okay. Well, if there's a place that we can specifically go for the alchemical stuff, and it's not too far from here, I wouldn't mind stopping there because now we're going back into the woodlands.
Okay.
Sure. I have something I need to potentially drop off at Chettlecorp specifically.
We also, if we're just doing random things, we also need to go find Wylan the Centaur in Lemoore for Elsa Buckham.
Oh, I'd forgotten about that.
So we need to ask around about that. But I don't think I'm the best person to be asking around about it because I'm apparently wanted.
Well, if we could maybe do those things after this.
Yeah, that was just something I wanted to keep in mind because I remembered that.
It's a good call.
Can we take a quick break so I can use the bathroom?
Yep. Let's return here at 7:55. I'm gonna go grab a drink.
All
right.
If everyone's back before then we'll start.
Oh yeah.
You see that?
Look
Oh,
at your toxic sludge. That's pretty
I
cute.
made that coming out.
Nice. Yeah, you got all sorts of stuff going on here. It's pretty detailed. And you got to make the city exactly how you wanted it.
Yeah.
That's fun. And this was all through, what's the
Incarnate.
Incarnate?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Which is also completely free.
Mm.
You can get more stuff if you have, if you buy the X or whatever, but let's see. No, wait, maybe it did spend a little bit of money on it. I don't remember. If it was like a lifetime thing.
Yeah, I think maybe you did spend something on it at some point.
Yeah.
Just because it was like unlocking a ton more
Yeah.
stuff or something. That's cool.
I was going to ask about that. How much of the stuff that you've like made yourself, or was just assets for some of these maps?
Yeah. I had made. So, like, for these, like, all of the buildings would be an asset, so to speak. But a couple of the buildings, like number 4, is 3 buildings that I just stacked, right? Number 5 is like a whole bunch of pipe stuff and whatnot that I had to piece together.
But it's kind of like a map making software, so it's how he makes his bigger map too.
Yep, I use the same software that I used to make this map is the software that I use to make, like, this map here.
That didn't move us.
Oh shit! I moved myself. It's the same stuff that I used to make this map. And the cool thing is that I can like click into like, say, Carnation and zoom in, and I can make a map from a map. And what it'll do is it'll make sure that the grids on the map are proportionate and whatnot. And then I can fine tune the layers, detail and stuff. So it's pretty cool in that sense. That's why if you look at this map, like if you look at how big the woodlands is, it should be the exact same as if I move you to this map. You should be able to see the woodlands now, and it should be the exact same, pretty much. So it's kind of interesting how it does that.
Okay.
So that's like its whole world.
Yeah, this is the world.
Well, I made cheesecake on Saturday, and it's really good.
Ooh. Is it just plain cheesecake,
Woohoo.
or is it, special flavors, or?
It's a triple chocolate cheesecake.
Ooh.
It's got a base layer of cheesecake with semi-sweet chocolate chips in it, and then on top of that, it's a brownie layer with unsweetened chocolate, and on top of that, it's a chocolate ganache with milk chocolate and bourbon.
So just your
Hello?
average basic
Hello?
plain cheesecake. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am quite proud of it.
I would be too.
Awesome.
I would be proud of the work I created and ashamed of how much of it I would be willing to eat.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the entirety of the thing.
Oh, I don't know if you were here when I talked about it, Austin, but very probably going to be traveling to Corpus Christi for work and staying there for about 2 weeks.
Where is Corpus Christi?
It's in southeast Texas on the Gulf of Mexico. It's one of the most violent cities in America, apparently.
Oh.
So that's pretty cool.
Did not know that.
Yeah, but
Keep your hands.
yeah, apparently it's has a very high violent crime rate.
Well, that's not good.
Alrighty.
That's
Don't get hurt, my friend.
Yeah. I hope it's not as bad as Lemoore.
No. No centaurs to be found.
All right.
Where are
No
you
killer
guys
trees.
headed? You guys give me multiple different potential locations.
I think we're gonna head to
Focusing on Emery's quest.
yeah, because again,
Okay.
that's time sensitive.
As you guys pass through the streets, you find yourselves bumping shoulders, the likes of dirty gnolls, who appear to have been working in factories in one way, shape, or another. Orcs and goblins, even a few draken. And amongst them, you find yourselves confronted with strange figures that you've probably never seen before until recent days. And that would be the likes of the Duragar, dwarves who are, unlike the brethren that you're more familiar with, their bearded and long-haired kin. These ones are completely hairless, and instead have strange tribal-like tattoos on their bodies of different hues, bright oranges and dull reds and purples, and even their irises themselves are of strange effervescence, light sky blues to dark purples. As you pass by, some of them you might even be able to see that some of what we originally thought were tattoos actually it's like almost like a varicose vein type structure to their skin. So you pass by some of these folks. Some of them with strange steel appendages. Some of them sitting in ditches moaning, especially after you pass across the bridges and enter into some of the some of the warehousing districts and the manufacturing districts. People were begging you for change with strange limbs that appear to be shriveled as if they had never found use in a long time, or stitches that have been obviously become fetid. Other folks appear to have conditions where they appear to be dragging some sort of contraption along the ground because of some sort of dysfunction in the contraption that is attached to them. Whether or not the synaptic linkages have failed, or if there's some sort of hydraulic component that is now rusted long ago, you are not sure. But you find yourselves being confronted with less of the haughty, well-dressed individuals that regale the merchant district, and you find yourselves amongst the laymen, the workers of this place. And as you guys move along, you find yourselves along streets. As you descend further down the from 3 to 6, you guys go. You have to work your way back down the hill, and you find yourselves coming across areas that are muddy and oil. There's an oil-esque sheen to the mud that is almost humid and caustic in areas where there's been boards that have been placed over them that are warping way quicker than their time would suggest. And so you find yourselves back into the stilts, the wooden area meant to keep you up and out of what is most certainly caustic sludge. And you find yourselves coming across more and more of these bug people, the Teketnu, who find themselves in roles cleaning the sludge off of many of these more permanent structures in these buildings. And you work your way past another factory spewing smog from its chimney. This one much smaller, much more new actually, as it is made from the local materials that have yet to rust, or stone that has yet to erode. In fact, there's certain even portions of it where there's strange flora that has started to take over in certain spots of it. This is the facility known as Ammo. Ammo standing for... This mouse is just the worst.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy. Ammo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. got all my stuff. I just gotta.
Just gotta find it all.
Yeah. Google search ammo. Where is that? I can't find it right off the. It's something organization. They are essentially a startup company of folks who are trying to do a lot of the bio plastic surgery that a lot of the other companies are doing, but at a much more discounted price. Trying to do it in a more of like a research sort of aspect than a more of a capitalistic sense. Working your way past their building, you see certain creatures flying about in the sky or clinging to the sides of buildings and making hovering leaps like a flying squirrel from one building to another. You get some eyes that pass over you in the time as you walk, but no one seems to be calling out to you or are following you. That was readily apparent, and so you begin perusing the slums in this area, looking for a blue roof and a beaded doorway. Can you guys give me can give me a streetwise check? Otherwise, you guys can all give me a streetwise check if you'd like to loosely disseminate.
I think we should stick together.
Okay. Then in that case, your compatriots can give you a boost die if they have an upgrade that you don't, or an extra die that you don't.
One success, one advantage.
Thank you.
Okay. Then add a boost die to Ilya.
Oh.
Oh, smooth.
You okay?
I inhaled what I should have swallowed.
Oh no.
Roll.
You said one success and one advantage?
Yep.
It takes you a bit of time to find what you are looking for. As you pass through the alleys and streets, and even a time or two have to like mutter to a couple people like, "Hey, is Diana's around here?" And a couple of people that you do talk to aren't familiar with what you're speaking of. But eventually you do find a much faded blue tinted tin roof and a beaded door up. There's like a wooden stairway that leads up to a seemingly small structure, but as you approach, you can hear music ever so softly coming through. Very faintly, you can hear percussion coming from the inside.
I enter.
Is it like
Hello?
horny percussion?
Yeah, we're talking like.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell, but it definitely does seem to be quite rhythmic. But if you're gonna get to the door and like put your ear to it, yeah, there's a bit of a jam to it. It seems quite upbeat.
They
Sinful.
Hello. I kind of like knock, and then I kind of go through the door handle.
Through the reeds.
Oh, sorry. How the beaded door.
Yeah.
Then I'll just go through it. Sorry.
As you peel open the beads, you see the room is tinted red, and the music comes through much more clearly. And yeah, it's very like techno ravey on the inside from what you
Alright.
hear.
The partiers are here. Yep.
Yeah, there's
That's
a bit of
us.
there's a bit of like a 9 Inch Nails sort of like
Melancholic?
a melancholic 9 Inch Nails sit in the background sort of thing. As you guys slowly enter to the site of the most diesel punk, slow, seductive dance of weird, unsettling creatures all grinding against each other. Some literally, some figuratively, and some audibly.
Ugh.
Yeah.
There is a humidity
Guys
to
need
the
lubricated.
space.
Ugh.
Like steam,
Ugh.
like literal steam.
I miss the man-eating trees.
Yes, that suddenly felt a lot more inviting. Didn't isn't it?
As you say that, there is some sort of corpuscular appendage that like caresses your shoulder. And
No.
as you look over, you see the second elephant trunk that you've ever seen. This one, part of an arm that is, as it touches you, it kind of like sniffs.
And you
It
just
sniffs
see,
from the palm.
and you just see, like Emery immediately locks eyes with Wretch, and she's like, "Don't, no, shh."
I push away the elephant trunk. Ask
As
first.
you do, you see this face that like looks at you with like dreamy eyes that are kind of glassy on them. It's this man with this mustache that is pulled up into your classic like wee French sort of like circles, and you see that he's wearing a corset, and underneath the corset you see leggings made to make it look like he's got some sort of weird fish like tail sort of thing going on, but you can see, since it's fish net underneath, you can see like normal white boy thighs on the front of it as he kind of like wiggles.
Luscious.
and
Shake or
touches you.
unshake.
This just keeps getting worse. Oh, God, are there any invisible bird people around?
So yeah, I'm kind of like uncomfortably looking for like where's like the back room, like where's Diana, like
Up in like beyond the disco ball, you see what appears to be a almost obsidian black dais, and on top of it sat a squat throne with bright purple felt cushions on the back, and seated in this is a small figure in a bright, like a heavily saturated green, not bright as in like light colored, but heavily saturated forest green cloak. And you see a top hat pulled down over the brow, and a cane sitting atop. Sitting in their hand and resting the cane on the first step of the throne with their legs crossed. You see that there's in the gem on top of the cane there is a octarine glow, and you can see almost a slight shimmer of white beads underneath the hat, almost like the shimmer of a cat's eyes.
I kind of like I would say beeline, but it's like try to like touch the least amount of bodies as I can instead.
Like a sine wave of discomfort more than
Yes.
a beeline.
Yeah.
As you proceed through the crowd, slowly but surely, you cannot help but become slightly moist from contact with other perspiring
Yuck.
bodies, and some of which is viscous. It's not sweat that comes off.
Oh.
I bet you're glad for the bark right now.
Okay. To the sides of this throne are two, I would say golem-like entities, but that's maybe inappropriate. There are two crab-like entities. Their appendages made from steel, articulating from their bottom joints. It's very much like a soul grinder, for those familiar with like the Warhammer world, right? It's like steel crab legs. They don't go quite super far out, but they're like directly below, and they go more so up. 4 of them to a torso. The torso looks hard to the touch, maybe even chitin, but the chitin has abs, so it's weird look to see. And coming up from this, it slowly tapers off into a leathery hide of these 2 ogreoid-looking torsos. Just, and not ogres like cave troll, where they're big chubby guys. They're like shredded, so to speak, with their arms like just rippling, crossing their chests with these like I picture like those like hair bands, like the workout bands, like on their arms, going across their muscles, standing there with their tusks in place.
I think you thought way too long about this.
This is all completely.
Tell us more about the rippling physiques.
Hi, excuse me. Hello. trying to talk over the music.
Slowly, the gaze is drawn towards you as the music continues.
Well, Diala? Do you remember me? Hi.
A grin breaks from underneath the expression of this cliche leprechaun.
Hi. Is there any place we could talk where it's a little, like, quieter? More one?
A sticky.
Yeah.
You hear a sigh as if someone just smelt the wafting of perfectly baked goods into your head. This is a place of pure seduction and comfort, is it not? And the music seems to plead away from you. And it is now in a place, you're still here, but it's almost as if, as she leaned forward, like, she leaned in close to you, like, the space dilated and shrunk between the two of you. And everything else seems to have fallen away to a distant world.
Oh, wow, that was fascinating. How do you do that? Sorry, not the point.
A host always finds time to make her guests at home.
Anyway, so you remember me? I was here like a little bit ago. Anyway, I made my timeline, and we're back. So I brought these. I finished the deal as promised.
I have to be honest, my love. I am surprised to be seen. I did not think you had it in you to traipse through the woodlands, through the Aesue Loon's territory, and come all the way back to me.
Well,
He did die.
It was.
Yep, she got impaled by an invisible bird man. I killed him and mutilated his corpse.
So
it was a great time.
At this point, where are you guys in the crowd?
As close to Emery as possible.
Okay, so
Fuck
you guys
that.
have attempted to come and join in the conversation. Okay. Then I'll say that you guys felt the zooming nature as well and can hear the conversation. But I was under the impression that you guys were like standing back, but that's just good for us all to be on the same page.
Well, yeah, it wasn't exactly it wasn't the easiest, I guess, but we did it as promised, as requested. So whatever that thing was, deal made. All good. I'm kind of like dangling it out, like.
She's taking her sweet time. Oh, she died. So you saw the place that you were meant to go. You had an introduction with the Black Filler, did you not? Or has Wretch worked his wily magics, that of his compatriot Dahlia, to make sure you didn't see the light of another, to make sure you could see the light of another eye.
That one.
It's like playing with her rings.
Yes, that one.
I think you have all been on a journey there. So, I am very curious. What would you think, Wretch, of our deal? Is it still something fairly bargained for?
I'm just gonna glower, or glower, I guess it is, but just hold my tongue.
So,
Rude, even to this day. I thought he'd learned some manners before returning to Lemoore. But he seems to not know when to speak. And he speaks when it seems ill-advised. Yes, you, Emery,
you and your brother Ole are released from your debts to me. And with a wave of her hand, she grabs the vial from you and she reaches up and drips one into her eye. And then the other eye takes one into it. I release you of all duties entitled to me. And stoppers the vial, taking it away.
You wouldn't mind just, kind of easing my curiosity, would you? I was just, like, wondering what was going to happen if I didn't bring it. It just... Now that the deal's done and everything's good, I was just curious.
And I was curious of what your friend Wretch thought of the situation. We could continue with congeniality if you wish. But we'd have to be friends more than business, would you say?
I'd prefer not. Kind of like look at Emery like, oh god.
That's fine. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry. It's okay.
No. We have a saying up north, don't we, Ilya? She kind of looks over. It is wise to make friends of those you can, for the nights grow dark, and with them follows those who can tread into your dreams, make of your nightmares allies. So, we have a mind fit for making friends, and one eager to set foot elsewhere than in mine domain. I'd ask, what do you wish from our relationship here? Business or no?
I kind of, like, look to the other two, and I'm like, I don't...
She asked Ilya the question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
She's like,
because you're on board, I'm not on board.
friends. Wretch is not
Yeah.
interested in being friends.
Up north, we carve a harsh existence out of a harsh wild. The cycle of life is that we struggle, we grow strong, we grow old, we grow weak, and we die. I have seen horrifying things in the short time that from Lemoore to the Woodlands and back, and seeing the weight of Emery's grief and knowing in my own life what that kind of grief could do, the loss of my father, and watching a clan, a group that I had held in some esteem turn out to be kind of tyrants I opposed has shifted my thinking a bit. I don't understand your world very well at all. I'm not quite at the point where I will embrace necromancy and breaking of the natural cycle with open arms. But like you said, we need to make friends where we can. And I'm willing to reach that eventually if you're willing to give me time.
Give me a knowledge dark or knowledge people check, whichever you prefer.
Does sound good.
Oh, you bitch. 2 success, 2 advantage on knowledge people.
So when she's turned to you and she starts saying something, when she started saying that up in the north we have this saying about, and then mentioned creatures that could stride into your dreams. You just for a moment are able to see through a glamour, and you see the character before you for what they really are. It is a tale a fairy tale to you, but it strikes true because in the north, in the Winterlands, there are many tales. The halls of iridescence and the night gym. That is what she is. Or you don't see a small, runty little humanoid in front of you, a mankin. You see something of pure white skin and black eyes and blackish teeth.
Wait a
In front
minute.
of you is a night gym, a beautiful woman of alien bone structure in the face. And the night gym is not a bad thing. They are known to be very similar to the Ace Loon in the sense that they are hunters of profane. But more importantly, in your guys' culture, they are wanderers who potentially could chance into you, kind of like Odin. And it is known that light Jinn are the granters of wishes, but night Jinn are the ones that stave off nightmares, historically speaking. And so they are beholden to Raji, the god of lost causes. And so you have a lot of lore and respect associated with them in the north, because night is dark and full of terrors, right? It's like just that like being up there when it's more. There's more days that are night than there's days that are day.
You spooked me for a second there.
Yeah, no, they're terrifying beings because they're always associated with nightmares. One thing that comes into play too, actually I should mention this because you didn't roll 3 or 4 success or a triumph. Some people attribute them as the cause of nightmares because they show up at the same time the nightmares show up, right? And so sometimes people associate them as the cause of nightmares or the cause of nightmarish things in the real life. So there's a bit of a duality there, but you understand that there's something going on with her, right?
Yeah, she's a spooky alien lady.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know what you are, and I know on a surface level, and I've done a little bit of learning traveling with Emery, so I'm not completely opposed to a friendship, but I've learned thus far that even a tentative alliance is based on a mutually beneficial relationship, and I'm wondering, even friendships are this way, I think. I wonder what benefit you seek from us, or hope to gain from us.
At the time, I have everything I need. Thanks to the illustrious thanks to the illustrious Emery. These tears will go a long way. But for now, I have not anything that is on me mind. I will. She goes. I am curious about the likes of Dahlia and her workings and her thoughts on the trials of pure people in Lemur and their rampant industriousness. But if Wretch isn't interested in procuring his thoughts, I will not dabble in his brain and pull the likes of his thoughts forward. Yet, I'm not of the mind to forfeit my own workings to Emery, unfortunately, either.
That is your choice, and I respect it.
Well, while you are in mine home, feel free to take a load off your back. Know that this is a safe place for you to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, it's a sticky place.
It is. It is that. A sticky place of love and freedom.
Yes, thank you so much for your hospitality. I really appreciate it, but, we have many places to be and things to see. But thank you so much. Yep.
Take care and tell Ollie I'll miss the opportunity of having more time with him alone.
Oh,
I see. Yes. Thank you. I'm sure
And
he
with
heard
that, y'all make your way out of Diala's place of revelry.
So,
After we get outside, I'm definitely just gonna like lean into Emery and like, you have really bad friends.
She's not a friend at all. I was very, very scared of her, to be honest. But that's over and done with. I don't know, honestly, what she had done to me in the first place or what she would do to us after, but she could have done a lot of bad things to Ollie, and, well, I'm glad Ollie's still here. It wasn't like that was exactly how I was asking for things to go about, but she went, like, right into my head and just plopped him in there. I don't know what else she could do. So thank you guys for helping square that away.
yeah,
Anytime.
I don't want to be in a room alone with that lady ever again. That's not what she made herself out to be. That is not a human.
Not a human. Was she like a fairy? Like a fae?
That is a night djinn, which my people believe stave off nightmares.
Oh,
And I don't know where else to go with that. She's a weird nightmare creature.
I'm not really sure about, like, I feel like some of those things that I just saw in there, kind of, I'm with Wretch that might kind of cause me some nightmares. Not really sure the whole rave thing was really working at keeping out the nightmares from my dreams. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, no, when I want to get to know someone's insides, it's not like that. It's usually with a sword.
Yeah, you're not really meant for cities, huh?
Well, I could use a fight or a person to heal or two.
Speaking of which, can you all give me vigilance checks?
Vigilance, just 4 greens.
That thing I'm not good at.
2 success, 1 advantage.
6 and 2.
1 and 1.
Jesus.
Wow.
Oh, my thing crashed.
Yeah, you're out.
Wretch just sees everything.
Dude, you guys have been having me roll like all my bad stats and then finally get back to willpower.
Dude, you rolled so good, Josh, like, quit out.
Yeah, he just quit.
I can't make you suffer. What's the point?
We are getting a new laptop, and I just got for Christmas. I got my things to be able to run internet through my coax downstairs to hook up our computers. So we should have better internet and better computer.
That's fine.
Fingers crossed.
Good.
So I didn't get Folks' rolls.
2 success, 1 advantage.
Okay.
6 and 2.
Jeez, Pete's.
And 1 and 1.
Okay. You got so while you're talking, Wretch, and maybe right before you say that comment, you see a cloaked figure walking down below the raised platform you guys are on. And in fact, they've kind of stopped and got these hunched shoulders, but you can see that from under a raggedy cloak, you can see what looks to be an eye looking in your guys' direction. And then you notice that it's not really an eye as you know it. It is a large gemstone. And it is attached to a shale-like grayish base with no mouth and silver-lined crags along the structure that would make up what appears to be a loose semblance to a jaw and cheekbone.
Goodness. That's an onyx, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, joy. And they're mostly, not 100%, but mostly in the harvesters?
No, the
No.
Onyx are mostly part of the gang called the Bronze.
Oh, okay.
So the ones who killed my old friend, not the ones who are chasing after you.
Nice.
As long as it's not Wretch's problem, we're good.
Yeah.
Remember, I haven't paid you yet.
Yeah, are you... What direction is Emery facing?
I probably
wall.
didn't see him. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm facing you guys.
Yeah. I'm gonna... And wait, do I know about that? I don't
Yeah.
think I do.
You do. You were there
Your
the whole time.
backstory with your friend... Oh yeah, because Wallaby would have
Wallaby was
said
like,
it.
shit, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you-
okay.
Because
And then
I
you
was
guys-
like, let's go meet back up with Art. And yeah.
Yeah, and then you guys listened
Yep.
in on his conversation with Jackaled in the Bracken Bastion. Or at least
Yeah.
one of you did, and then you guys
Yeah.
shared.
Okay. Yeah, then I kind of nod in another direction, and I'm like, we should get moving.
Care to share?
Not here.
Oh, okay. Let's get going.
Okay, and I kind of just will follow you wherever you're going. So I
Okay.
have no idea what's up.
As I get walking, now that we're not like near that, I mean, not near, it's not like we're super far away, but we're moving, and then I'll start explaining what I saw, that one of your friends is around and rather curious, it appears.
The figure is following you as you start moving.
How do
Yeah.
I lose him?
They're not going away.
Can we lose him?
But is there any reason they would want to kill you specifically?
I don't. They were killing Art because of presumably something he knew. Well, wait 1 second. I need to check something really quick. All I know was that Art was going to go talk to the Onyx or the Branch, right? He said something about the
He's gonna go talk to the Bronze.
Bronze. He was gonna talk to them, and they killed him, rather than, I don't know. So if they were going to kill him, and then Wallaby was so scared that he wanted to dodge town.
If you're
That's
legitimately trying to be as forthright as possible, one thing that you know is that Archek was very familiar with the Onyx's. Remember, he was like trying to save your brother, and you're like, you killed him. You didn't save him, and he's like, he would have had a much worse fate. Trapped. He would have been trapped had he continued. Like, had he been allowed to be captured by the Onyx. Not physically. Either.
right. He just he
Wait,
made
they
it,
slave. Go ahead.
Yeah, he made it sound like the Onyx were these terrors. they were terrible. He made it sound like it was better for my brother to die than be in their hands. That's all I know. I don't want anything to do with it. They're dangerous.
Still following you
Looks
guys.
like they want something to do with you.
Well, let's dodge them if we can.
I'm not the best at dodging things, lady.
No, I'm much better at murdering.
So what, you want to turn around and smack him around? I'm sure he has tons of friends, and he's made it rock.
I
could
didn't
you
say
trust-
that. I just said this is more of your thing. I told you where he is. So I'm not a sneaky lad.
It appears that you hear like in the background, and he's pushed past some people. He's picking up his pace.
Well, yeah, I think this is going to wait. Bug people, right?
The detective. Yes.
Tekeknu?
Yep.
The Tekeknu gang has a beef with rock people, right?
Well, they certainly do now. Arch was supposed to be their queen's emissary. And
So how far are we from bug people territory? That's
There's
10, right?
Yeah, you're pretty close to, like, there's bug people in 6, which is kind of where you guys are at, generally speaking. But 10 is, like, the heart of the bug people's gang territory.
And we haven't pissed them off yet, have we?
Not that you know of.
That is a much better start because we know the Rockman is probably going to try to fight us. So I suggest that we kite him into bug people territory, the Tekeknu area, and he'll be outnumbered for sure. And
yeah, let's try that, but
Yeah.
try to stick
Who takes
to
the lead?
crowded rows.
Who takes the lead?
Maybe I should lead because I think I'm the one that's most savvy. Like, I feel like I'm the one who's leading when we're
Give me a
trying to
streetwise
find stuff.
Then you
So far.
give me the streetwise check.
Yeah, I'm like the tour guide.
And you can get a boost from Ilya's knowledge. So his ranks in streetwise.
Okay, 2 and 1.
2 and 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you're between like trying to figure out like crowded roads and stuff like that. You're like starting to try to lose him, and he's like starting to like have to like jog to keep up. Like he's pushing people past, and you're like, oh shit, like having to like duck dodge and stuff like that. You guys, in order to be able to lose him, though, you guys are need to like put in the pace at this point. I need you guys all to give me athletics checks.
I mean, is it illegal to fight in this place? I feel like this guy's just gonna fight us 1v3 and then like cops will descend on him, right?
oh my goodness, 2 success, 4 advantage.
1.
I really don't know. I don't know
The closest
how
thing
hard.
to like guards is the harvesters who work for the companies.
Gotcha.
There's
Thank
no
you.
like the town guard. It's like the harvesters.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know how hard that line is between law and criminality here, if there is one at all.
Yeah.
It might
Yeah,
just be
definitely.
handle our own business.
Okay. Well, that's why I was asking.
Yeah.
Okay. Were we all rolling athletics, or was
Yes.
Ilya rolling something on his own?
Correct. We were all rolling athletics.
Athletics, brawn. Gotcha. That is 2 and 2.
Okay.
Nice. Middle of the
Between-
road, doesn't offend anybody.
Between your stoutness and Ilya's dexterity, you guys are able to basically Emery's like that way, and then you guys basically help part the crowd to be able to pull her along. And she's like, no, not in there, over there, and you guys are able to make it. You aren't able to break completely away from this guy, but you're able to keep going just quick enough and just savvy enough where you lose him just enough time to where it takes him a moment, and then he sees you guys again and has to follow, and you guys are able to make it into Tekeknu territory. And he follows you guys in, but slowly but surely enough, other figures start to appear, and you see him like kind of looking back and forth, and like sees you guys, and seeing that some of these Tekeknu are like, he like slowly starts to like back off a little bit, and a couple of the Tekeknu kind of look at you guys. And go, "You're wanted."
Wanted?
Oh, God.
You are wanted. Vivigeni will see you at the skipper.
Okay.
All three of you.
Does he sound angry?
He does, and then you see the guy next to him goes,
Yeah, there's no reason to treat him with such disrespect. I'm sure it's nothing.
Well,
All right.
That was
That-
sinister.
seemed fine.
Yeah.
Not suspicious at all.
All right. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get
Suspicious,
close to.
Shiga. At least I was being, a little less foreboding. Oh, you were not being.
and they just start jabbing each other as they start leading you guys into the slurry.
I get close to Emery again, and then I'm gonna like whisper again in like the exact same tone as I did outside the club, and I'm gonna be like, "You have really bad friends."
You're talking about us or the bug people? Oh,
The bug people.
At least it's not like this entire city hates me and I have to sneak my way in.
she's got you there, buddy.
Just the corrupt guard saved me.
I don't think the bug people hate us.
They didn't sound
Yevgeny,
particularly
the last
big
time
fans.
We spoke to Yevgeny before, I thought. Didn't we?
You have. They're
Mhm.
taking you to Vivigeni.
Yevgeny was the one that we met, and she said that she was going
He.
to. Oh,
He's the
he.
very big dung beetle looking guy.
He said he was actually going to try to avenge Art for us. So he was very kind to us last time we talked to him.
He was, and he didn't seem to want to eat us, which is more than I can say for the really scary flaming people.
Or the people at the raid. But that was
Yeah,
kind of
who-
like a different sort of. Anyway.
Eat. Yeah.
As you guys have this conversation, they lead you through the muck and the mire into some sewers, but they're actually more like a cavernous system. It appears that these Tekeknu have made some sort of like hive underground, similar to which is called the Ways, and they lead you down into some sort of subterranean system just under the layer. In fact, you can see certain areas where it's raining sludge water as light comes in through columns into certain areas as the natural waterways pass through. And down here, there is some clean water, some in the water table that has made its way through and then is quickly resludged in certain areas as they lead you through, and eventually you come to what appears to be some sort of meeting chamber, and the two Tekeknu who have been leading you, one of them breaks off and eventually gets Vivgeni, and then one comes back and summons you guys to his another cavernous system that's it's a little bit smaller of a space, but it's still big enough that it appears to be like some sort of gathering space of some sort. There's enough space for like what would appear to be like a long table, but it's there's no chairs. It just looks like something where it's of waist height that these skittery little folks seem to meet at. And you see one of the largest of the clearly one of the crabbier looking folks, instead of being closer to like a grasshopper or bipedal, this large chitinous creature with a big old, it's almost like a dung beetle horn off the top of his head. And iridescent beetle-like wings on his back. And he seems to be opening up something that is chitinous and eating the meat of it like a crab. With his mandibles, pouring it into his mouth. Throws it aside. Pulls another one out. Eat.
Oh, nice to see you again. Thank you.
See, like, some sort of, like, antenna, like, reach into this thing that he's eating.
Ugh.
What news from Laxandre?
Who's that?
We haven't had a chance to meet your queen quite yet. We had to head back here first.
You haven't talked to the queen.
Not yet. We are heading back into the forest shortly, and
I hear it's easy for your type to lose track of time when they cannot see the eyes of Ada. Do you know how long it's been?
less than a toilet.
It has not been less than a toilet. It has been.
Actually, it has been.
It has been less than a toilet.
No, it's been 23 days because there was a toilet like 3 or 4 days after you left. You're supposed to come out. You had 28 days total.
Mm-hmm. Just over a toilet.
We have been prolonging a stalemate for 23 days. Do we have any dessert?
You can see this little bug guy, a little grasshopper on the side.
Yeah, we certainly could. It's we've got eyes from the Shelock that we gathered. Very good stuff. In fact, it's been set in a brine of aqueous mass for 3. Leave it for now. I may not need it.
Oh.
With his little
Oh.
claw.
"23 days. A stalemate with the bronze. What have you been doing? If not, getting us aid.
Well, there are a lot of other things going on that we didn't have much control over. There was a lot of danger in the wood. Well, we had to come back here and then...
Do you know what it takes to kill a bronze? Is that an onyx?
Actually,
Many of my kind have strong claws designed for crushing. And few of us can do it. The power of our hands. I can. Break through rock. But, for you, I'd suggest that you submerge them in water and hit them with hammers.
and
But killing one of the onyx It's only one of the matters, and it is not a small matter. Do you know who backs the Bronze?
We don't.
He pulls out this little wiggling thing.
They call themselves the Affiliates of Zion, and the
knew
Cries of Reparation. And their kind... Sorry, he goes, they're called the Cries of Reparation. Sorry, and they're backed by the Affiliates of Zion. And they're backed by other factions. Who do you think backs us? No one. Unless... Because no one. We're outcasts from Paratisium. But Archek wasn't. He was a delegate of Alexandre, the Queen of Paratisium. Now, do you know who backs Paratisium?
No.
Ganny?
The Old Blood. Calumet. The fact of the matter is, we have a budding place here. As Lemore finds us useful. But the bronze has been here a long time. Right under the Killigir's nose. In fact, they practically own Petrogovich Bay. They've got their veins of steel and silver buried deep into the roots of the city. 23 days I have managed to stalemate. And there is room for peace or escalation. What would you suggest for me?
Well, the way you describe it, don't mind me offering my advice or a word on it. The way you describe it, your people would be facing a considerable force, not simply killing one, but you would be meddling with... Excuse me, not meddling, you'd be directly opposing very powerful forces that are backing the Onyx. I don't know offhand how... I guess the question would be what the Onyx can offer you to balance the scales after taking one of your delegates.
Oh, we
And I
balanced
feel
the
like-
scales. We assured that. But, as they say, an eye for an eye just leads to a blind man. Especially along popular creatures such as yourself.
Indeed.
We took care of one of theirs. And as there are at least 10 of us for every one of theirs, we considered that. They don't think so. That is not what they consider even. However, there is room for peace. So I ask you again, should I sue for peace? Or shall I continue this war? Be it cold
I have no love in my
Over
heart for the
magic
Onyx or the
pots.
Bronze or the affiliates of Zion. In fact, if a lot of them burned, it would only make the world a better place. But I also understand that the not only is there 10-1 of the Tekeknu to the Onyx, the blood of your own is worth 100 of the blood of your enemy. Seek first to uplift and make your own people prosperous before you seek to damage your enemy.
So
And
peace.
if I would say for peace, and I think you should take into account the fact that I have a personal grudge against the affiliates of Zion, and given so I understand the desire for violence and destruction against the Onyx on a very deep and personal level, but I also understand the perverting nature of violence and what it can and it will do to your people.
I always considered you to be a insightful man. And I still do, thank you. I always enjoy picking the brains of the creatures that walk into here. He continues. Do you know the price the bronze has set for peace? Of course you
I
would.
do not.
Asking a lot
Firm
of questions.
handshake.
He's like a teacher that just like doesn't want you to answer any of his questions.
They didn't. They asked for a simple matter. They simply asked for the three of you.
Oh no.
Second that.
Why us?
But, Ilya, you can understand the position I am in. Certain, I want peace, and no, I do not want the blood of mine spilled. And I had carried this Cold War this long, hoping that this would not come, for killing the delegates would bring in other matters that would put pressure on the affiliates of Zion, who would put pressure on the cries of reparation, who would put pressure on the Bronze to call this matter dismissed. So, it may have seemed a dangerous place for you to be in the woodlands, but it is a dangerous place for all of us here in Lemoore. So I ask you, if I am to sue for peace, I am to give you to the Bronze. I ask you again, should I sue for peace? Or do I go to war?
I'm
And
still confused
please.
why they want us.
Reconsider your equation. Maybe add some things to the side that would warrant me to continue this war. And you're right, wretch. Why would they want you? That is one of the questions. Why did they kill Archek? What knowledge is in those skulls of yours? What are they afraid of?
I can tell
I
you.
don't know.
I can tell you everything I know, but I don't know that it's.
But, if you tell me everything you know, and they want you for what you know, doesn't that just offer me up as well? Put me on the table?
Don't you think
Well, there-
whatever
That-
information they're willing to kill for is
Would be a measure of war.
something worth knowing?
But they aren't going to know that you know, right? The only thing they're worried about is the leverage
The only way
that knowledge
they-
can give us.
The only way they will not know that you tell me anything that they are afraid of getting out as if you're dead. Because
Well-
they saw you enter my territory and we protected you. Twice now. Once, and then we killed one of theirs. Twice now. After they have offered this peace. Potential peace.
Well, I value my own life, but excuse me, there's no buts to that. I value my own life, and I'm not going to be given up to a bunch of rock people. Well, if I tell you what we know, which is fair point, they're going to assume that anyways because you've saved us twice, for which we are eternally grateful. Then there's no reason not to tell you everything we know that might damage them. Because if they're willing to kill a delegate of yours, knowing that it will come back to you, and knowing the kind of impact that it could have on this city, then it's got to be very dangerous and very damaging. And whatever information that is could be a hell of a bargaining chip. Because according to our check, having our lives taken would be a preferable fate over being taken by the Onyx, especially if they want us in particular.
You and Emery give me negotiation checks, and we'll take the better of the results, as you guys have both argued for the similar point. We are a bit over. Are you guys fine if we go 15 over or anything like that, so we can round out this conversation?
Okay.
I suppose I can do that, yeah.
Cool. There could be a direction coming out of this. So.
Sure. 2 and 2.
2 and 2.
Take that. Double it.
Teamwork.
It appears our fates are tied in some fashion or another. One thing I'll add. Tell me. So he goes, tell me what you know. And demand the whereabouts of Wallaby.
You demand the whereabouts of Wallaby? Is that what he said?
Yes.
Do we even know that?
We lost track of him.
Why?
Yeah, he left after the Bracken Bastion, so we haven't a clue where he is.
But he met up with
Crocodile Dundee.
Yep. That was his name.
Jackal.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I remember him as, is being Crocodile Dundee.
That's super
So,
It's hilarious. He met up with Jackal and the Rack and Bastion.
Did he go to Paratisium?
Do we happen to remember that?
He had not, as of when you guys left him.
I thought he said
To our
where
knowledge,
he was
no.
thinking about going.
He was told that he'd be able to find Leanne and Shay in the Grey Glade, which is not Paratisium, or even in the direction of Paratisium.
And before that, he was just trying to get to the Bracken Bastion, right? Or was
Correct.
okay.
He had to go talk to Jackal.
It seemed like perhaps he was trying to go to the Grey Glade after that.
Very well, tell me your tale.
Give me such delicious trading information.
Do you actually want me to say these
You
things?
can paraphrase what you tell them.
Okay. Okay. I tell him about the situation, how I met when I first met Archek, and that the Onyx, his name's Rot, I think was his name.
Rot. Yep.
Yeah, he had Crimson Rod, and there was Ephemeria, that he was saying of bringing things back to Ephemeria, to bring them back as thralls, my people. And that, like, you know, there is something about blood and feeling a hunger, like they'd almost turn them into, like, vampire-esque things, you know? And then when I was talking to Art made it sound like the Onyx were trying to find a way to, like, procreate, essentially, like, make more Onyx, through use of, like, I think it was script or whatever, the Affiliates of Zion.
Yep, script magic and enchantment, yep.
Yeah, they wanted to, like, they were told they would like, inherit and awaken Hall of Dwelling if they were able to use script magic.
And you gathered a little bit that they were, yeah, that about sums it up.
Seems that they might be onto something. They're willing to kill for it. Really, I can't blame them. They're looking for the golden key to life. They're in. You know, Lamore doesn't take very kindly to slavery. It's one of the strict no-nos of the place here. If you're able to find some sort of proof that your kin were taken or that they were taking anyone, that might give us just enough leverage to sue for peace, at least within the streets of Liberto. Because pull that into the public eye, drive away a lot of people looking to get stitched up, so to speak. Also, if you're looking to help, and this gets any bloodier, might have a potential opportunity from you guys to help us out.
How so?
Well, up in the executive district, there's up in the mountains, there lies a much more refined district, and let's just say it's pretty obvious us mud grubs don't belong there. But I happen to know that there's a penthouse belonging to the Bronze. It's an individual named Mazdak runs a lot of the bronze out of that, from there. Mazdak happens to hold a rod similar to the one that you mentioned. It's powerful. It seems to liven the onyx to a near insurmountable strength. They wreak carnage when they're around him. You break in and take that rod. Might just give us some leverage. It might make them think twice before striking. Otherwise,
Bless you.
I know Petrogovich Bank is, I'm assuming you tell
he goes, I'm assuming you tell him more about Ephemera. You learn some stuff in Kirkoven about her being hired out as a mercenary.
Yeah, vampire chick was like a mercenary.
You know, if they're paying Ephemera to do their dirty work, there's a reason why they're doing it all the way up there. It's to throw off the scent and allow them to continue operations here. But I'm willing to bet my exoskeleton that Petrogovich Bank will have records.
Follow the money. Smart.
You follow the money, you'll get the trail. Proof of their slavery trade. Lastly, they work out of some of these mines. Hell, if you can uncover and push down into their operations and their slaving operation, well, that might be a bit more than what we need over here, but it's a thought. So this stuff's going to be dangerous, and I can't promise that your heads aren't ever going to be off the table. They're going to stay right on it, even if things turn into a matter where there's not... even if we reveal these records, they still will play nice with us because they can't have open war on the streets. But they might still bag a couple of strangers. I'll be willing to pay for these operations, for you guys to help support yourselves, and if we're truly going to ally, then you may be able to find some place here in the Scarab to bed down. It's not pretty, and you might have to tussle with some of our guys. They'll challenge you and try to put you into the ways. At time to time, you'll have to put them in their place. It's just the way the gangs are. There's no way around it. But I can pay you, and we can work together on the situation.
I'd like to sign that arrangement. Anything that helps me hurt the affiliates of Zion. Question. Duly for the DM and Yevgenia. Is there a way that I can enchant my weapon or something to that effect where it'll work especially well against the Onyx? I know I have my breach ability.
So your breach ability will work particularly well. That's like one thing that'll help you cut into them. You would need to go to Agatus, which is the dwarven stronghold that the basically holds the dam for all of these rivers. It's number 11. They would be able to help you out if you wanted to even more so enchant your sword or learn more about it.
Can you imagine that wouldn't be cheap or easy?
Nope, not at all.
'Cause it's already kind of the Rolls Royce of stabbing.
Yeah, it's I would consider it already kind of enchanted in a way. Like your sword would do very little against them if it wasn't enchanted. Let's just put it that way. They've got very high soak. Blunt, like he was saying, blunt, like mallet weapons are particularly effective against them. Cough, cough. And being submerged in water. The reason why for the magic users is because of the way magic works. And some of them are enchanted, right? They're enchanted beings, essentially. They run off of magic. So some of them, water hampers. Not all of them, but some.
But like sticks.
Sticks?
Yeah.
Sticks and stones? Yeah, no, good luck.
Alright. Like ropes, vines, that sort of, no.
I mean, you could potentially try to immobilize them. Right?
Is it enough to spritz them to reduce the magic? So I get a spray bottle and stab. And you don't like them being moist, do you?
Yeah. Just take him to the rave. Anyway.
So this guy's offering us work to like either break into a bank or to investigate the mines and just find the slavery.
No, he's really offering you guys 2 quests. One is break into the bank and find the paperwork to expose them as slavers. Or 2, break into the penthouse and steal some of their magical equipment to make them less potent in combat. And then the third thing that they mentioned was the mines. And he just alluded to, like, you could go that way, but that's, like, that's getting a little bit more outside of what's going on in Lamore, and that's way more into, like the Bronze and the affiliates of Zion and the cries of reparation are bigger than the Bronze. The Bronze is just the local game. So that might be above and beyond Natal. Business.
Above and beyond our little britches at this point.
Well, no, like, you guys have side stories that are immediately related to the, like, what could be going on deeper, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But that, like, he doesn't care as much.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be willing to go there eventually,
Yeah.
but take a big old bite of that later.
That's an appropriate emotion towards it. So,
Yeah.
it's 9:18.
Agreed.
So I can kind of see what's going to happen in the immediate future, but if you guys had a particular idea as to, like, I want to go do the bank thing, or I want to go search for Buckham, like, let me know what, like, thing you guys are going to be doing from this. But keep in mind that, like, as far as, like, the Onyx thing goes, like, he's like, dude, I got to, like, either serve your heads on a platter, or we gotta make moves, because I've stalled this, hoping for aid. You guys were supposed to bring it in his thoughts, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, is it a bad option to just go get the aid in the forest?
You could potentially try to bamf out of here and go back towards Paratisium, but keep in mind that if you're trying to run out of town, that might look bad.
Yeah, we have immediate access to some solutions here.
Yeah, if you try to run, it might look like running to him.
Yeah, but then when we come back with the lads,
It might be too late.
it's not too late.
That's going to be.
You could.
a
I'm
long
saying
way.
you can do that. That's absolutely fine. But keep in mind that these are some of the factors that are involved.
It's never too late to bring the dudes, but
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. Wretch is
Going-
not kitted out or morally super great at like breaking into places and stealing things, so those two wouldn't be my first option, but I do agree that is the most pressing quest, so I don't know how you guys want to handle that.
Ilya has a hate boner for oppression and also the Onyx, or the affiliates of Zion, so he would like probably to do both, the bank and the magic rod.
I think
I feel like breaking into the bank can get us into hot water with really powerful people, and other powerful people may not think that we're just stealing dry financial information.
right.
That is something to consider.
Like, they didn't even touch the money.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
But
Are you
also,
in?
Wretch, which I should actually not be referencing Wretch, Austin, you could get a lot of money if you break into a bank.
I could, but Wretch is not Shins.
yeah, different moral compass on this one.
My obsession with money is because I've been starving to death forever. It is not a desire for, like, you know, nice things.
I think they're rod quests, like, because we can bash some Onyx heads if the sneaky factor goes away, right? Like,
Well, when the sneaky factor goes away.
when inevitably this group does terribly. I have a lot of feathers, okay?
Listen, my other rat is the stealth rat, okay?
A lot of
This is
sneaky
the Bonkin
feathers.
rat.
We'll see
This
how
is the-
far they get us.
This is the friendly neighborhood medic / bonker rat. All right, I can't do everything here.
Yeah. You ugly rock.
I'm a nice guy. You could get impaled around me and I'll just fix it. So I'm not good at sneaking. What about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't our strong suit, but go for the rod.
All right.
Okay.
That sounds like the way lesser evil. So Rich is
Yeah.
down with that.
All
You want to rob a bank or steal from a gang? Ugh. One of
okay,
those is a lot
to
harder to
be
justify.
fair, they did mention that the Bronze have their fingers in Petrogovich Bank, so it's still kind of like a corrupt business,
And
rather than
slavery.
being like, I'm stealing from the nation, or like, I'm stealing from the people.
Well, taxation is theft, as we all know.
Yep.
The nation calls.
Okay, well, I got what I need if you guys are gonna go after the penthouse.
No.
Start thinking about, like, a little bit on, like, what you guys might want to do to prepare for that, rather than just, like, being like, that's the penthouse, walk up and knock on the door, as we proceed into our next session. But I hope you guys enjoyed your welcome back to Lemoore. And thank you all for joining us live here today. For those of you who are going to be watching after the stream, feel free to add comments, and hell, maybe even we'll post maybe a poll or something like that if anyone's got any interest on what we got going on in the immediate future. So
Why does it